Guys, Delu the Gooner, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Now, a player I've watched for quite a long time from his days in Belgium. I've known about him for quite a long time. Obviously, he's from the same country as my parents. Leon Bailey, man. I mean, I'm pretty disgraced how I've never got around to doing a video about him. I love the guy. A lot of you asked me to do a video. Someone got me at Snapchat and asked, and I just thought, you know what? I'm disgracing myself and the fans are knowing this, so I need to do this. Like I just said, man, obviously he's from Jamaica, Leon Bailey. We'll allude to his international career a bit later, but he's 20 years of age. He's somewhat seen as Jamaica's very big hope. I know we've got Sterling, obviously he plays for England, in the sense that this is a player who is actually Jamaican, born in Jamaica, is actually a good player, can actually has potential to play for one of the best sides in the world someday. So he does look like a great player, man. I've got a lot of time for him, man. He can play right wing, he can play predominantly on the left. I believe he's left footed, at least he looks it. He's a decent finisher. He can assist as well. He can improve defensively, but he is a very good player, and he's someone that said like I just said, I know we had Sterling, and he's someone that sees Sterling as a big brother and draws inspiration from him, man. He's a madness. Obviously now he plays for Leverkusen. He's in the starting lineup now, but if you remember last season, he actually joined in January. Obviously joining mid-season, anyone at any club of any player is going to be hard unless you're the top bracket player. You need time to adapt. You need time to get used to all of these things, and it's all mid-season, so he was somewhat subjected to the bench and sub roles and the odd start here and there. Even the season started off a bit mixed for him. I don't believe he got 45 minutes against Munich. I don't believe he got too many minutes in the game after that. But then he stepped up. Since he's got his chance to start games, he hasn't looked back, man. And he's made the difference at various different points this year. The 2 assists against Hamburg, the 2 assists against Stuttgart, and the performances against Schalke. I believe he turned up against Schalke. He bagged against Gladbach as well. He turned up against Schalke, like I just said. Scored against Cologne. He's been doing his thing, man. He's been setting up. There was one, I can't remember who they played, but he made the difference. I believe he scored and set up Kai Havertz, another player I rate very highly. 2 young players, man. He really looks like a player, and he's at a great club in Leverkusen. There's a lot of young players, like I just said, Kai. There's other players scattered around the side that will have scope to develop, and they can go on and play for the best clubs in Germany or in the world. And he is one of them. He's small, but he's talawa, as we say in the Caribbean, or specifically Jamaica. Like, he's a madness, man. Like I said, he was subjected to the subs bench role, really, and them things there. But he's going and taking his chances now that they're coming, man. No clue how many times he's played this year. In fact, I've got it written down. I found it. 17 in 18 seasons, 16 appearances, 8 goals, 4 assists. So he can do much better. But that's also someone that's looking to make the difference. And obviously, when you're a creative player in the positions, no matter what you say, goals and assists, you need that. For Genk in Belgium, the team he actually left to go and join Leverkusen, he made 77 appearances. And he got 15 goals and 21 assists, and he scored one banger in the Europa League. I can't remember who it was against, but I'm pretty sure it was nominated for goal of the tournament last season and whatnot. That's another point. If you were watching him in Europa, you've seen him for seasons, or whenever you've seen him play in the Europa League for Genk. But many people don't know his agent's actually his dad. Craig Butler, and he's actually very good with managing some Jamaican players. He's got a half brother in Kyle Butler, who I can't remember what team he plays for. It's not a reputable club like this. He's very much looked after their careers and stuff, and we'll allude to again them sort of things later in regards to playing for Jamaica's national team. But many people don't know that's his dad. His agent took him over from Jamaica. He's actually spent time in Austria and Slovakia. He couldn't get a work permit, so he actually couldn't play for a lot of football around the ages of 15, 16, however old he was. So he eventually took a while to get a side. Eventually he found one in Genk, and he hasn't looked back, man. I mean, there's not much more to be said on that front. Like, he's doing his thing, and he's a player I've got a lot of time for. Allegedly, all the big teams are looking at him, of course, but the names I keep seeing is United and Chelsea. They're the ones consistently linked from his days at Genk. So maybe there is truth in that, or maybe it's just clickbait that these people do so they get views on their blogs. But I've got a lot of time for him. He's got a lot of scope to develop him, and he can become a long way. He's 20 years of age, so he's got a long way to go. Yeah, man. He hasn't looked back, and he looks like he's really developing a thingy, man. And I'm happy for him, because even if you listen to when he first came to Europe, it's a struggle. He came to Europe with one jacket. I know, like, Jamaica and Slovakia, or wherever he went initially, 2 different countries, but one jacket. That shows you the poverty and the pain, man. He's nicknamed Chippy as well, obviously, because he looks like the guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks, typical Caribbean thing to call him that. But yeah, like I said, I came to Europe with one jacket. We didn't have much money. We had to live off of a budget. Sometimes we would have bread and tuna for brekkie, lunch and dinner. So yeah, man, like that shows you the grind. He had to start off like that. Now I don't know how much money he makes a week, but you can be pretty sure that he's got the Louis Vuitton bag and the Giuseppe's and the cars and everything. And I'm happy for him. He deserves that. He struggled. He's someone that's got his head switched on as well. He's also said he doesn't like to party, doesn't go out much, and he said you can get anywhere with hard work. You can achieve your goals with vision and hard work, and that's someone that's very much got the Caribbean work rate in him. He understands the chance he's got. For me, he can be. Firstly, I have to speak with my heart. He could be someone. I always tell you guys, I love talking about heroes people can look up to. Football in Jamaica is very rife in that. Whether it's coaching, the coaching qualifications are not recognised internationally. So you could imagine, simple terms, you could have the most decorated coaching qualifications in Jamaica. You come to England or Wales or wherever, they're like, who are you? What have you done? What is that qualification? So you can see the problem with that. So then coaches can't go abroad. If they can't go abroad, they can't expand their mind. They can't expand their mind. They can't expand their coaching. So they can't come back to Jamaica and benefit the kids and benefit the clubs and the schemes and things like that. There's that. There's obviously the poverty aspect, and there's the most important is the corruption. Like, there's mad corruption in all Caribbean and most countries, FA. But I'm specifically about Jamaica. The corruption is mad. Like, I've spoken with former Caribbean players, former Jamaican international players, and do you know what they have sadly told me, which is the best way to actually, the only way we could help this or we could eradicate this? People in these positions dying. So and I'm not saying if I agree with that or not, but from someone who's saying that's the only way it can happen, that shows you the deep levels of corruption. So I can't blame his agent for actually basically being the reason he hasn't played for Jamaica, because why would you want to be the golden boy of your country as much as you love it if they're not going to bring through similar players to give you a chance of creating history, if they're not going to properly include accommodation and just little things like that you take for granted? You can't expect him to go and put himself in that. But my heart is saying he could be a golden boy of Jamaica. He can inspire that little guy in St. Catherine in the Paris that has a dream of being a footballer. He is the start, man. We could have done this with Sterling. He obviously went and played for England. This is the start. He could be a real poster boy, someone that someone can look up to. That's my heart talking. Now, my brain... Big man, as much as I want you to play for Jamaica, you gotta play for Belgium because of the reasons I've just said. The corruption, the not seriousness. He'll go to a World Cup for Belgium. He could play for Belgium. Now I don't know how true the links are with Belgium because he's been playing, and the Belgian side, you would have thought with the form he's been in, he would have got caps. So I don't know that. Allegedly, he really wants to play for Jamaica, and his dad has a bit of reservations about it. But my brain would say play for Belgium, more decorated, more serious, more of a chance of winning something. You don't want to put yourself, like I just said, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where, okay, you play for Jamaica and it's all fine and dandy, but you haven't got suitable players, or they can't convince suitable players, or they're not patterning the corruption, or not implementing the widespread changes that we need to see, and more specifically, his dad has mentioned that he needs to see, man. Like, he's a madness. My brain says he plays for Belgium one day or somehow. My heart is praying that he plays for Jamaica, but I can't see it. And if I was him, I would play for Jamaica. But you've got to actually have a serious look, man. And this is why, as much as I would love for players to play for their homeland, especially those of Caribbean descent, I can't really blame them. And as much as it hurts me to say, 100 Belgium caps, you're going to be held in higher regard than 100 Jamaican caps. This is another reason why players of African and Caribbean descent choose to play for England. And that's without we talking about money for playing for these countries as well. And like I said, the travelling, etc. But we won't get into all of that. But anyways, guys, man, Deluded Guna, I'm signing out, man. Thank you very much for watching, man. Like I said, Leon Bailey's got the world at his feet. I hope he does his thing, man. That's it. Now I remember the strike against Rapid in Europa League last season was a banger. But yeah, guys, Deluded Guna, Leon Bailey, I'm out.